If you are considering making a move to Fresno, California, this is a video for you. We're going to talk about many of the pros and cons of living in Fresno, California in 2026. You've probably heard of several of these things, but I can guarantee you one of these cons might make you scrap the whole idea, not even want to consider moving here. However, one of these pros that you've actually never heard of, I can guarantee it, might make you want to pack your bags tomorrow, hop on a plane, leave everything behind, and get out here and start enjoying life. So stick around to the end and let's dive in. The first thing is a pro. It is the cost of living in California. All right, so across the nation, I know California is one of the most expensive states actually to live. Within the state though, this area, the Central Valley, is actually one of the most affordable places to live. So I would say that's a pro. If you are comparing the cost of living here to other areas in the nation, it's probably still significantly higher, but within the state of California, it's actually one of the most affordable. So the average house price here is around $450,000, which is actually still quite affordable for many families, including young families looking to get their feet wet in the real estate market, become a home ownership, and live out that American dream. So that's definitely a pro. With all of that, I don't want to ruin the mood, but we got to talk about the cons, guys. That's probably equally, if not more important than the pros, right? It's like reading bad reviews on a website. Who cares about what everyone says on the 5-star reviews? We want to see the 1-star reviews and why people hate it, right? So let's get to a con. What if I told you there are no cons? No, I'm just kidding. There's several cons that we'll talk about. Poor air quality. So we are in a valley here. If you look at the region, it's kind of like a bowl that we're sitting in, and that's what actually makes up the Central Valley of California. The air quality is not the best, especially in summertime during wildfire season. I know many people out of the area know that California is somewhat known for their California wildfires, and it really does have an impact here on Fresno from time to time. Some years are worse than others, absolutely. I mean, there have been some of the worst years that I've experienced here have been about 5 years ago. There were some crazy wildfires up in the mountains, Shaver Lake area, which is about an hour from here, 45 minutes to an hour away. And I literally could come outside, look at my car, and there's little white ash on the car. So it's not that we have fires like that here all the time, but it does happen. I've seen that happen more than once over the years. So that's definitely a con. If you have asthma, if you're somebody who likes to go running outside, things like that, during the summer months, that could have an impact on your ability to do some of these outdoor recreational things. You know, once it rains, it's fantastic, but during those wildfire months here in California, I would say that's definitely a con in the Central Valley specifically. The next one for some could be a pro, but I would say for most, it's also definitely a con, unfortunately. The extreme summer heat, all right? So in the wintertime, it's not bad. It's beautiful. Like right now, we're in November. It's 63 degrees out. It's beautiful. You can see what I'm wearing. But in the summertime, guys, during some of the extended heat waves, it is definitely in the triple digits, over 100 degrees. In fact, we've had record highs of like 113, 114. Not all the time, you know, usually low hundreds. It has reached into the teens, like I just mentioned. But I would say all in all, the weather is not bad here. Again, I have lived here for almost 30 years of my life, so I've probably adapted to the heat. But if you're coming from somewhere tropical or somewhere on the East Coast where it doesn't get nearly that hot, definitely something to be mindful of before you move here. It's not that bad. Every house, every car in this area pretty much has air conditioning, and that's a big deal out here. You can put misters on your patio. This house doesn't have it, but we'll talk about that later. But there's ways to mitigate that. We've got lots of water parks here. We've got lots of lakes around the area. It's common to have community swimming pools if you're in an HOA like this community where we're at today. And a lot of homes have private built-in swimming pools. And hey, if all else fails, buy the one from Costco for like $500 or $600 and you'll be just fine, I think. So that's the truth though about the heat here. So don't let someone tell you differently. That's the truth. Let's move on to the next one. All right, I don't want to keep being just a Debbie Downer. So we're actually going to talk about something positive, right? We are in a really unique spot here because we are in an area that is about 90 minutes or so from 3 national parks, which is kind of rare, right? So we've got Yosemite National Park, which is about an hour and a half. Actually, all of these are about an hour, hour and a half away from here. So we've got Yosemite National Park, we've got Sequoia National Park, and we've got Kings Canyon. So if you like looking at gigantic trees, you know, head to the east up to Sequoia, look at those massive trees. It's crazy cool. And if you're like, hey, I don't really care about trees, I want to see some waterfalls, then head up to Yosemite, go camping for a few nights or something in the summertime. It's a great way to escape the heat, which kind of mitigates our last bullet point. Glacier Point's like 70, more, it might be 7,000 or 8,000 feet above sea level. So there's some amazing views up there. If you like astronomy, take your telescope up there. They actually have different astronomy clubs up there, many different weekends of the summer. So that's a fantastic thing to do with your time. You can go up there, you can go camping, you can go backpacking, you can hike Half Dome. There's so much to do in such a close area, which actually leads me to my next point. People love it here because there's so many things to do. We're gonna talk about things to do as another pro, okay? A lot of people from out of the area have said, Casey, you know, I wanna move there, but what do people do there? What is there to do? Well, there's actually a lot of stuff to do, guys. There is so much to do here. And there's kind of something for everybody, to be honest with you. There's a lot of 4-wheel drive trails. There's a lot of lakes, 5 or 6 lakes around the area. Kind of in close proximity, you can take your boat out, you can go boating, you can pull the tube, you can go wakeboarding, you can go camping, you can, again, I mentioned you can go backpacking up in the national parks. We've got several state parks close by as well. If you're not such a mountain person, maybe you want to take a day trip over to the coast. We've got Monterey, we've got Pismo Beach, Capitola, Cambria, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. There's a lot of stuff you can do here, and you can make a day trip out of it because we actually live so close to those areas, right? And if you want to do a little mini getaway, then hey, book a room, book an Airbnb, hang out over there for a week or so. You know, it's not bad, and you're close enough to home that it's not crazy having to book flights and all of that. You can drive your car, like take your fur baby, fantastic, right? Here, more locally though, we have Save Mart Center. A lot of big names come there. You know, I think Garth Brooks has came, Elton John. I could go on about a list. You know, Rod Stewart, AC/DC, Van Halen, Aerosmith, U2. Tons and tons and tons of big name artists have come here. In fact, my wife and I, we saw Blake Shelton there a few years back. That was really cool. So we've got that. We've got an underground garden here, which is a really cool place. Tons, guys, tons and tons and tons of stuff to do here. We've got your typical mini golf. I mentioned the water parks already. The list goes on and on. I could do a video in itself on things to do here in the Fresno Clovis area. So maybe we will do another video on that later, but for the purposes of this one, I hope that's helpful. Now, let's talk about a major pro, one of my favorite pros. All right, this one is absolutely a pro. I don't care who you are, you're gonna love this. Food, right? There is so much diversity here in general, but so much diversity in the options for food, right? I've had family move out of the area to new cities and they're like, Casey, you know, Fresno is so much better. There's so many different options there of places to eat. If you want fine dining, we've got it. If you want something quick on the go, we've got it. If you want something kind of a hybrid where you kind of go up there and order it, then you sit down and then someone serves you, we've got all that kind of stuff. And in terms of diversity goes, we've got fantastic Indian food, Chinese food, some of the best Mexican food that you're ever gonna have. We've got pho. There's so many places, and you know what? You actually should reach out to us because I can tell you some of the best hole-in-the-wall spots that you probably, I can guarantee you've actually never heard of them, especially even if you live here, I can pretty much guarantee you've never heard of some of these places because they are pretty far south Fresno. Maybe not the absolute best areas of town, but hey, I'm willing to risk my life for a good taco, aren't you? Seriously though, reach out to us. I will let you know where all of our favorite spots are and I'll tell you why, and you're gonna love them. So if you like diverse food, this is the place you should totally consider moving, because there's so many different cultures here, there's so many different things available for you, and there's probably a lot of stuff I didn't even mention, but those are just some of our favorites. There's Mediterranean, a lot of Mediterranean stuff here, guys. And there's also a lot of, health places, juiceries, things like that. So if you're looking for an acai bowl on your way to work, there's several locations where you can get that kind of thing. And there's even a cool place downtown where they sell quesadillas. I have not tried it yet, but a good friend of mine has told me about that. So that's definitely on my bucket list. So we'll try that and I will let you guys know what happens with that. Now let's head to our next point. So a big one I frequently get asked is crime. How's the crime rate? Is it good? Is it bad? How does it rank compared to other areas? The crime rate here is probably a little higher than the national average. With all of that though, I will say, in my personal experience of living in this area for I think 27 or 28 years now, I've never had a big crime happen in my life personally. I'm not gonna say it's never happened to anybody and it won't ever happen to you. I've never experienced such a devastating crime situation. I've never had a car stolen. I've never had a home broken into, knock on wood, right? Well, that's not even wood, that's drywall. But anyways, I've never had a big problem in terms of crime personally. I'm kind of a believer that this kind of thing happens everywhere. And the areas that I'm going to have you look at homes in are safe areas, guys. I'm not gonna move anybody to a not so favorable neighborhood. I might have you drive over there for some good food, but I'm certainly not gonna have you move there and live there full time, especially if you're a new mom and you've got babies and your spouse is away working or something. Safety is important, right? That kind of outranks everything. So the areas that we show most frequently to our clients are areas where there's security that patrols. We've got very quick first responders, especially Clovis. Clovis PD is fantastic. They respond fast, right? They're dialed in out there. And Madera County Sheriff, they don't play around either. Fresno PD is a much bigger area. But all in all, like where this house is at today that we're showing you, we're out here in North Fresno. It's a fantastic spot on a golf course. In fact, if you like this house that you're seeing as I'm walking around talking your ear off today, guess what? This is for sale, guys. This house right here, look at that closet. This house is for sale. The video today is not about, showing you a home tour. We do lots of that on the channel and we're gonna continue to do so. But today we just wanna help you determine if this is an area you should even consider moving or not. So the crime rate though, research it on your own, but I've never personally had a problem. And I think that if you move to a safe neighborhood where we would place you, I think you absolutely will be happy. So let me know in the comments below if you guys think this one is a pro or a con. You are required in California to put solar on any brand new construction home that is being built, okay? So this house right here has solar panels, right? I find it a pro having solar because own solar saves you tons and tons of money on electricity. In California, we use PG&E, which is Pacific Gas and Electric out here, or at least in my area, in the Central Valley, that's what the utility provider is. Their costs increase like every year, I think. So having own solar kind of mitigates that expense if you can create power on your roof. Some people don't like having to necessarily put solar for sure on their roof. They like to have that option. Either way though, I think it's an option that's gonna save you money in the long run. So I don't know, is that a pro or a con? What do you guys think? Put it in the comments below and on we go. All right, so this next one is absolutely a pro, maybe the biggest pro, I'm not sure. It's huge though. The schools in this area are among the best in the nation, in my opinion, all right? You're gonna see me look down because I gotta read these stats here because I can't remember all these numbers, but you guys need this information. So, national rank, there's approximately 10,000 school districts in the nation, and there's approximately 450 districts within the state of California, statewide, all right? Clovis Unified is among the top 500 best school districts in the nation, which is out of 10,394 districts. Okay, top 500 guys. That's like top 5, top 6%, I think, which is crazy. Let's see, top 15%, they're ranked 63 out of 466. I think that is for academics statewide. For athletics, they're ranked in the top 150, guys. Top 150. So if your kid is like a basketball star, this is a place you should consider. It might give them the most opportunity. It might position your kids in the best way possible for a college scholarship. That's, you know, something to think about. For athletics, we're ranked 109 out of 9,934 districts, top 2 of 406. Actually, number 2 out of 406 for most diverse school districts. I can send you these stats later. We don't have to get crazy on the numbers, but my point that I'm making here is that the school districts are fantastic here. I personally attended Clovis Unified Schools and had a fantastic experience. I have no complaints whatsoever about it. Now, something I want to touch on really quickly is, let's say you're looking at homes in Fresno, right? This home I'm standing in right now in North Fresno on the golf course is in Fresno. It's a Fresno zip code, but the high school here is Clovis North. It is part of the Clovis North School District. So if you do have kids and you're thinking that, hey, I really want them to go to Clovis Unified Schools, don't necessarily feel that you have to only look for homes in Clovis. Reach out to us. We will tell you where the boundaries are, help you find the right house, whether it be Fresno or Clovis, and we'll make sure that you move into the perfect area with the best school ever for your kids, right? I know how important that is, especially as a young dad. So yes, that's definitely a pro. All right, so the thing I wanted to share that you may not even care about, but it is kind of crazy. Have you ever heard of Sunmade? Their headquarters are in Fresno County. That is, I think, the world's biggest raisin supplier. They are based out of Selma, California, which is Fresno County. And that blew my mind when I heard it, because I remember as a kid, you get little boxes like this, the Sunmade raisins, right? And it's crazy to think that they distribute worldwide, you know, and their headquarters are right here. So it's kind of maybe not a pro or a con, it's more of a fun fact, pro tip. So do with that information as you wish. All right, now, let's say you are a young couple looking to move here from the Bay Area. You're used to kind of a fast-paced lifestyle. This might be a con that you had no idea was the case. Moving here, there is not the nightlife scene that you're gonna get in the Bay Area, Los Angeles, or Vegas. It's kind of mild, guys. It's kind of a mild nightlife, right? I mean, you can go down to Tower District, there's a couple clubs, things like that. I can't even drink alcohol, so I'm not much of a partier or whatever, you know, so it doesn't really matter to me. But you know, for you it might matter, so that could be a con. You know, let me know if you think that's a con in the comments below, all right? Now, something that may be a pro, depending on where you're coming from, the winters here are quite mild, all right? It might get into the high 20s, 30s, I mean, mainly probably 40s and up. It doesn't get crazy. But if you're moving here from the East Coast, guess what, guys? It's definitely a pro, because you're never gonna have to shovel snow out of your driveway. In my 28 years living in this area, I've never shoveled snow out of a driveway before. You might have to go out there with like a credit card though and scrape the ice off your windshield if you park out front. But just put a towel over your windshield at nighttime. You know, and then in the morning, take the towel off and it works, right? That's another little pro tip for you. We're packed with good information today, I think, right? So, little fun fact, but the winters here are mild. We don't really get snow. It has snowed here a few times in my life, but it's a dust, if anything, that melts right away. It hails here semi-frequently. It rains here a fair amount, but we don't even get a ton of rain. In the wintertime, it rains, but not like Seattle or anything, right? Nothing crazy. So the milds here are pretty winter. You can still get outside, do a lot of the things that you like to do in the wintertime, do bonfires in your backyard, lots of that kind of stuff. So it's a very community-oriented place, which is another pro I'll touch on really quick. A lot of these master plan communities, like the one we're in today, they are built for family-oriented groups of people, okay? So they do events out here. You should have seen Halloween at Riverstone, which is just out there in Madera. It looks like a Halloween movie, just with kids everywhere. You know, it's crazy. So if you like a family-oriented place where the communities come together, you can put on Facebook, hey, someone literally put on Facebook the other day in Riverstone, which is a community close by. They said, hey, my kid come down with, you know, I think food poisoning, something, he was sick. Does anybody have any leftover candy? And on a certain day, would they be down if my kid dresses up in his costume, comes out, knocks on the door, and gets to experience the trick-or-treating that he's been looking forward to? So many people commented, 30, 40 people commented, yes, you know, just let us know when, we'll have candy ready, bring them by. Like, that is so cool to me that people are willing to be so accommodating and make it a family place for everybody. So that's maybe also one of the biggest pros in this video. So again, if you are thinking about relocating here, reach out to us. It's what we do. We're one of the top relocation teams in the area. We do a ton of relocation types of deals. And if you're looking to sell a house here and make a move within the city because someone placed you in the wrong neighborhood when you first relocated here, let us know. We can help with that as well. All right, now, real quick, guys, what do you guys think of this house behind me that you've been seeing as my backdrop today? Do you like it? What do you guys think? Well, I'm gonna go downstairs, get you guys the details on it because this home is actually for sale right now. The builder is motivated to move this home. This was a former model. They are wrapping things up out here and this could be yours, all right? So check it out. It's beautifully staged. Got the fireplace. You still get the gas range out here. I've got the details right over here that you're not gonna wanna miss. So check this out. All right, I'm gonna drop my list and pick up my other list. Guys, really quick, this house that we're seeing today right here, how big do you think it is? It's 4,580 square feet. It is 5-bed, 4.5 bath, 4-car garage, okay? So if you have 2 cars, you need some storage, and then you have a golf cart, hey, this is the perfect thing for you. This house is currently listed at $1,528,100, okay? So $1.5 million out here. Now this is definitely priced on the higher end. There's tons and tons of deals out there. I'm not saying this is a good deal or not. It's an expensive house and it's a fantastic location, guys. But again, the average in the area is $400,000 to $500K. We can definitely find you something in that range. So reach out to us if you're thinking about making a move to the Fresno area. We look forward to hearing you soon and helping you make it a smooth journey. And we have a video over here actually on 5 reasons why people choose to relocate to Fresno. It kind of goes with this video. So check that out. And until next time.